Relationship therapist Dr. Sheri Meyers says breakups can energize a love that has gone stale. Dr. Sheri, thank you so much for being here.
It's great to be here.
Now, first of all, we want to clarify this. We're not talking about unhealthy relationships, abusive relationships, anything like that.
Codependency, that sort of thing.
No.
Well,
everybody's codependent, but we won't even go into that. Really, relationships that break up before their time, a lot of times our heart is still drawn back to the old relationship. And a lot of times we have to go back to complete it or start anew.
Okay, but how can you tell if that's you? How can you tell if you just, okay, time to move on, we're going in different directions, or we weren't meant to break up?
Your heart tells you that. Now, you have to kind of differentiate what is loneliness, because a lot of times when we break up after being together, suddenly we go, ouch! And so in the ouch, we think, oh, this must be love, because I'm hurting so much. Often it is, we have to go through some of the stages of breakup, and if in the end, we still want that person, it means that either it's not complete or we really love them.
Are women more in touch with this than men? Because, you know, a lot of men are just like, all right, I'm done.
Right, and a lot of men will kind of go to the internet or go, all right, who's next? Let's look at the candy store. But really, what happens is on those lonely nights, or when you look, and you can't find anybody, and your heart's still longing for that other person, maybe it's something to look at in terms of going back.
Okay, you have 5 tips that you say if you've determined that you guys broke up prematurely and it wasn't meant for you to be apart, you can successfully reunite. Talk to us about these. The first one.
So
have a plan of action.
The first thing about a plan of action is you need to know that whatever problems broke you up still exists. So once the dust and the cloud of love passes, you're going to still be with those old problems. So you have to have a plan of action. This didn't work before. What do we need to do to make this happen? We need a love contract that says, I'm not going to bail. So when those problems arise, we have a deal that we're going to hang in there and work through them this time.
Open up lines of communication. That's part of that, too, huh?
Absolutely. You need to be really honest. You need to be authentic in who you are. Sometimes it's hard. We walk on tiptoes. We aren't really communicating and talking about what we want. That's really important to be really open.
I'll just come up with a completely made-up example. I broke up with this girl because she talked during movies. I just can't. Boy, but I miss her, and now we've gotten together, and we're going to a movie again, and here she is again.
Okay, and that's where the plan of action comes in. Because if you talk about, it used to drive me crazy when you talked in the movies. Then when she starts talking in the movies again, go, remember? Shh. You've already talked about it. It's not going to be insulting.
Now, you have another tip that says, don't jump into it so quick again. Take it slow.
Right, because what happens is we're motivated by our heart, and we need to wait to mate. We really need to build trust. You don't jump into bed so quickly. You kind of start looking at each other anew because you're starting anew. The good news is you kind of know. You're not going in blindly. You know what you're getting into.
Sure.
But you need to take it really, really slow. Start dating first.
And you got to know where you're going. You have to have the same goals going back to it, too, right?
Right. You have to have the same plan of action. If one person wants to get married and the other person just wants to take it slow and see where it's going to go, chances are if your problems were commitment, it's going to be another problem.
Okay,
don't you think that's the major, in say, post-30 dating? Is that the major reason people break up? Because one person wants to get married, one person doesn't?
Well, a lot of times closeness distance is a major issue. So, yes, a lot of times, and often, people will break up in order to initiate a deeper commitment. Because women who want to get married, I say women, sometimes it's the man who wants to get married, but usually it's the woman who wants the deeper commitment, and the man who's going,
But isn't that just playing games? Aren't you manipulating somebody into giving you what you want? And an ultimatum, a lot of people don't react to ultimatums.
Well, I know, but a lot of times men will only react to ultimatums. They need to have the bottom line, or they need to experience the loss of you to begin to feel their heart.
Dr. Sheri, wonderful stuff.
Well,
I mean, I know a lot of critics that say, look, if you broke up once, you probably shouldn't be together, but this gives some hope to folks.
I've definitely heard of people saying they broke up too soon. I've definitely heard that.
And if you break up too soon, you may need to go back and have some sort of completion.
Dr. Meyers-Gantman is host and producer of a great show. We should tell you the name of it, Straight from the Heart. You can check your local cable listings for airtimes in your area and dates in your area as well. Dr. Sheri Meyers-Gantman, thank you. Really interesting conversation.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
It's great to be here.